Looking good, looking good. You know it's a good review when you got the beads on. Well, they're shells. They're shells. Why do I keep saying they're beads? Anyway. Hello one, hello all. It is the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh. And it's time for a review of the Thantifaxath album, Hive Mind, Narcosis. Thantifaxath is a black metal Canadian band, and this is their second studio album. Third studio release. In the middle of their career, they dropped an EP, which was good, but not better than the debut. The debut was incredible to me. I felt like this was a moment where black metal had dipped its toes into other genres here, such as prog, and done it really well too. I feel like the way they went about it wasn't too clean, but you could still hear everything. You could hear the instrumentation just fine, the cymbals just fine, the bass just fine. And to me, the bass is one of my favorite instruments, might be my favorite instrument. And hearing the bass so prominent there was definitely a breath of fresh air for black metal. Not to say that I don't enjoy black metal, I do, I love black metal, but when you're doing the same old, you get kind of stale and you want something that's going to make you stand out. And on here, they are definitely doing that. Not only with the prominent instrumentation, but also with giving us a plethora of different elements here, in opposed to the last album, which I felt was great, but on here, you're definitely getting more here. You're getting more avant-garde, like on the track Sub-Lilith Tunnels, which we will get into later. The opener kicks off these sinister guitar chords just droning away, while the frontman just arises with these super demonic vocals like he's out for revenge, like someone has imprisoned him for years in this chamber, and he's just now breaking free, and he's like, whoa, where are they? It's really, really intense. With these swelling guitar chords, slowly pounding drums, and the drum patterns here are very angular. The guitars just get sharper as the track progresses. And it's crazy because the intensity just thickens and the blast beats didn't even come in yet. And even though this thing is heavy and visceral, they do not shy away from their lovely prog passages. Also, I love how they're sticking to their prog guns here and also adding more to this, such as the avant-garde elements I was referring to. And they are not skimping here when it comes to the multifaceted monsters, because there is a multifaceted monster on here. I wish there was more, but we definitely get that. Like the following track, Surgical Utopian Love. Hell of a title that cuts right to the chase with these blast beats, tremolo pick guitars, and the longest track here at almost 11 minutes that cut right to the chase with this burst of burning tremolo pick guitars that ascend as the track progresses. It sounds like aliens are rising from hell. It's intense, it's dizzying, and it definitely makes you feel that way with the disoriented droning guitars that follow along with it. Really gives you that feeling like you've been through this tornado cycle and it's just brought you down and you're just in a state of a trance, with shots of dissonant guitars that just go into this reverb guitar passage that just sounds like sharks are swarming for blood. And as the track progresses, the frontman just sounds like he's evolving into this unearthly creature, leaving us off with these blissful but yet nightmarish vocals at the end, and then just dissolve into this white noise that segues itself into the next track. Another thing I love about this album is how it holds so much space in portions, and with that space you're getting suspense with the instrumentation, like on the track The Lost Wisdom of Wolves, where the frontman just sounds like he's turning into a straight up mutant. This guy is just taking all these vocal variations and just creating so many evolutions, so many metamorphoses as this track goes on. The vocals are insane, with these theatrical strings and distorted vocals, And it seems like reading into the lyrics, which I normally don't do on a Thantifaxath record. I don't really look into the lyrics, but it seems here it's about protecting nature. It's about protecting the animals. And with me being a vegan, I'm all for that shit. And the winding guitars really carry a eerie melody. Like, it's almost like a demented version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, except if it was haunted. Hungry Ghost does have the most angular instrumentation on here, probably the most angular in terms of drums. The only gripe I have with this, which leads it to be my least favorite track on the album, is how the vocals sound so distant and not in a good way. It sounds like he's had his final form and he's trying to warn me about something. Either he's trying to warn me about something or threaten me. I can't really tell what he's trying to do here, and it bothers me. It's distracting, and I'm just kind of over that. But that's not to say that this album doesn't end greatly with the mind-bending sub-lilith tunnels, where it feels like I'm at an occult altar in space with these ominous hums, fragmented space keys, with what it sounds like children talking, but in a distorted volume. And then you get like these walls of heavy distorted guitars that sounds like an alien. The alien boss is just lumbering towards you. Like he's just like, what are you doing here? And as he's approaching, the synths become more intense, more eerie, more panoramic with these pounding drums. And lawnmower style riffs. I kid you not, there are riffs on here that sound like lawnmowers, but it's very, very interesting, very creative in the way they were able to manipulate the sound to make it sound like a lawnmower. I'm not sure if that was their intention, but they definitely have a knack for tricking the ear into thinking they're hearing something, but it's really guitar. And I love when an artist does that. I love when musicians do that, where you put an effect on an instrument and it makes it sound like it's either another instrument or another object completely. And that leads into the final track where it's more chaotic than ever. It's just savage riffs all throughout with these searing dramatic guitar leads, and really brings it to an intense closer, I must say. Now, would I have liked this to be more of a multifaceted ending? Sure, but the ferocity's there and I'll take it. But yeah, like, they just keep developing their sound. They just keep pushing boundaries within black metal, and that's what I feel they need. Whether it's liturgy, whether it's Thantifaxath. This name is not normal. This album is not normal, but it's great. And I do wish some tracks, evolved more. Probably the only song that had vocal slippage here was the Hungry Ghosts track. But other than that, great album, great comeback album, kick-ass comeback album, hellish comeback album. And I am feeling a 4 out of 5 on this album. If you've given this a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? Thantifaxath-Hive, Narcosis. Till we meet again.